This is your radio, Cayman.
The Business Buzz is proudly sponsored by Cayman Insurance Center, celebrating 45 years in the Cayman Islands, specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services.
And Total Health in Grand Pavilion. Change the way you manage your family's health. Visit www.totalhealth.ky or call 333-2222.
And now,
Radio Cayman presents
The Business Buzz, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment. This is where we address the business topics that matter.
Radio Cayman's Business Buzz.
Here's your host,
Anita Khan.
Good morning and welcome to Radio Cayman's Business Buzz. It's 29 minutes until 8 o'clock. Today we have two segments on the buzz. The first segment, the discussion will be geared around the entrepreneurship industry in the Cayman Islands and its challenges, such as opening a corporate bank account, hiring qualified people, working with the laws in the Cayman Islands, etc., etc. As we get some insight from Bento's point of view, and of course you might know Bento is a technology company offering delivery services in the Cayman Islands. We will also get an update on their services. Following the 8 o'clock news, weather and traffic, we will have Mr. Michael Miles. He's a managing director of Inspire Cayman Training Limited. We'll have him in the studio. Our guests from Bento are CTO founder Rainan Neary, alongside Ms. Dania Edwards, fleet administrator, both from Bento. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Anita.
Neary, you're not
much
a stranger to the studio.
No, second time here.
Second
Thank you very much.
time. Welcome back.
Yeah, it's been a year.
Already?
Yeah, it
wow.
was, I think, in June last
Okay.
year. Yeah.
Okay, very good, very good. Jenny, is your first time here?
This is my first time here, so thank you for having me on your show today.
You're very welcome. And want to say good morning to Miss Susan. Susan is a producer of the Business Buzz, and she's back in the hot seat this morning in the next studio over. She's at the controls this morning. Thank you, Susan. Welcome back. Now, if you can pull that mic a little bit closer to you.
Like that.
No.
Can you hear
no,
me?
Yeah,
Can you hear me, Cayman?
Yeah, they can hear me now. Susan, can they hear him now?
Perfect.
Oh, yeah. I've got a thumbs up from Susan. Now, opening up a business here in the Cayman Islands, what are the benefits and challenges, if any?
We have a plate of challenges.
How can the process be improved?
Wow, amazing. Thank you very much for having us again
you're
here in
welcome.
the show. And this time we'll be talking about entrepreneurship, not only about our business, our operation, our product and services, but try to help entrepreneurs here in the island, people with ideas, they want to start their business, right? And how can we start, right? Well,
And before you go,
Right.
can I say you're the person responsible for developing the Bento app,
Yeah, as well. I'm also a software engineer, so I
Right.
created the app, the website, API.
so that
all
everyone
these
knows
things.
this
Uh,
up front?
no. And that's the thing. Like, because I'm software engineer, I don't have. I didn't have at the time the business background to open a business in Cayman. So I faced a lot of walls, a lot of challenges here when opening a business. So, for example, knowing all the departments at the government here on how to open a business was a challenge as well. And I can share with some of our listeners that if you want to open a business here, start from DCI, Department of Commerce and Investment in the Cayman Islands. They can be very helpful with you. They will be very supportive or provide information on how can you open a business, what kind of information you need to provide, then documentation and everything. Benefits about opening a business in Cayman. Cayman has a lot of opportunities here, right? I believe we lack of some services and products in the island that we already have abroad, overseas, but we can bring in those services and products here to the island, even though we are small. But we have a lot of people here ready, waiting for those kind of products and services, right? But the challenge is there. DCI is here to help you, and you can go to their website, dci.gov.ky, and it's a pretty good website though, and find out more information on how to open a business and all the bureaucracy and paperwork.
Okay. So what are some of the challenges that you faced when you started out?
Well, bureaucracy. It plays a big role here. The amount of documentation that they ask for opening a business is quite challenge. But besides that part of opening the business is also the having a corporate account. It took us 4 months to have a corporate account in the Cayman Islands to start receiving payments from our customers, right? And this can be very challenging. And I know other merchants here, other entrepreneurs, they have the same challenge opening a bank account here. And this is more about the company side of it. They don't know that when we have a new member of the team starting working with us, sometimes they don't have a bank account, and the banks make so hard to open a regular bank account.
So how do they get their? Normally, you'll pay you payroll through the bank.
Well, exactly. Like we have all the system at Bento. We automated all this process. We love automation because it's faster, more efficient. But if the person doesn't have a bank account,
you have to pay them by check.
We need to figure out another way. And my accountant will be very mad on me because they don't. It's challenge dealing with cash and check, and we prefer.
Most times you go to the bank with a check. If that, even if you don't have, like you say, if you don't have an account, they won't take the check.
Exactly.
So you have to end up paying your employees in cash.
Yeah,
that's a good thing. We don't have to pay income tax and all the good stuff.
Right. Well, nowadays, when we hire someone, we prepare, and if you don't have a bank account, we give you like 2 weeks to open your bank account, and it's sad, but sometimes our staff they need to go to the bank and putting pressure on the bank. Where's my bank account? Where's my bank account? Otherwise, they're not gonna be part of the payroll, the automated payroll. So our accountant will have to figure out a way, withdraw cash or write a check, and this happens with a lot of business here. They give up. It's a chain effect. I see a lot of restaurant, construction companies here.
Small businesses.
Business. They prefer to pay in cash, in check, because their staff doesn't have a bank account. So it's a chain effect.
No, you said that paperwork, opening up, starting a business, paperwork was quite intense. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Well, first thing, like Bento, we have a board of directors of 4 people. We need to collect all the documents from all these 4 people, and we need to notarize all these documents as well for each one, each individual at the company. And I remember that one of the documents that was notarized by our director, who is a notary as well, and the bank say, "Oh, I'm sorry, this is a conflict of interest. We cannot accept this documentation." And then the documents were sent back to Cayman. We have to re-notarize it and send it back to the bank again. So for me, like, what does it change?
Yeah, but in all fairness, Neri, we have to think about all the compliance. We have to keep up with, know your clients, know your customer, whatever. You have to think about all that. We have to be compliant in the Cayman Islands because, we get called names. So we want to make sure that everything is okay, spot on. And we have a lot of small businesses popping up, right, on the island, and a lot of those businesses are owned by expats, and we just want to make sure that everything is okay.
No, totally. But the thing that I see it, for example, opening a bank account for an employee, it's so difficult. And I believe it's because most of these compliances, we add too many layers of verification and when you are going to the bank to apply for a bank account there, they need to go through a long process to open this bank account, which ended up taking longer for us to open a bank account for a regular person. Like, I don't have a bank account.
No, I
need someone to...
I understand that.
I need this account to receive my salary. I understand the compliance part of it, totally fine, and I believe technology can play a big role on improving this process. That's fine to ask for documents, notarize it and stuff. How can we automate this?
How
can we make it more-
simpler, make it efficient?
Yeah. Using
make it
technology.
easier.
How can we make a application for a bank account or for create a business 100% online?
Absolutely agree with you. Now, some of the key things to bear in mind when operating a business. You came on board in the middle of COVID,
True.
right?
Yeah.
And that wasn't the easiest time.
That's true.
But with that innovative mind of yours, you saw where your business
Yeah.
can come into play
Well,
on the spot,
Anita,
and even after COVID.
yeah.
Because I still see Bento on the road every day. All those guys doing their deliveries. And I'm like, oh my gosh! Every time I see the guys, it'll take me back to the 2021, right, Susan? 2021, and I'll be like, oh my gosh, COVID.
We were heroes. We were feeding this island.
definitely.
Yeah.
I want to say thank you too.
Thank you very much. Thank
Yeah.
you. I think for all our customers who believe in our products, and we are very much happy with the success that our product have at the moment. But let me share something with you. Before the pandemic, of course, we were not planning a pandemic in the world, all right? we were not.
We weren't.
Yeah. I remember when I started coding Bento, it was September 2019. I started the very first line of code. Oh, by the way, Bento is a Caymanian software, 100% made
Awesome.
here. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. And when I first started, of course, we were not considered a pandemic. Then the pandemic happened, and it helped us in a way that restaurants, they could understand the potential of this kind of product, this kind of service. The audience was there. It was always there. We are all humans. We like convenient. We like to have our food delivered.
Yes.
But restaurants here, some of them were not familiar with this kind of business, this
Delivery.
industry. The pandemic hit it, and they had to open
It
their
forced
minds.
everybody to move in that direction. So.
Exactly. It happened a lot.
Yes.
Dana has been with us for like 2 years already,
Yes.
so she saw all
2021.
this movement and growth of the company, and
And you're the fleet administrator, right?
Yes.
That's
yes, I
right.
am.
If you're just joining us, you're listening to the Business Buzz. In the studio, we have the CTO founder, Reina Neri of Bento, and we also have Dania Edwards. She's the fleet administrator. Now, going back to that question, the key things to bear in mind when operating a business, knowing the labor law, for instance, payroll, hiring your staff, and just even fleet operation.
Yes.
Let's talk about that.
well, let me go here through the topics. But law, when you open a business in Cayman, you need to know at least the basics of the labor law here. To prepare your budget, for example, like you need to know that you need to pay pension, you need to pay insurance, health insurance, you need to pay overtime. How overtime works here in
Yes.
Ireland. Some business owners,
40
they
hours,
don't know.
45 hours? Yeah.
Some people, they don't know. Like after 90 hours, you need to pay overtime for your staff, right? And many other topics that just by going through the labor law, you have a better understand of the challenge that your business will face it once you first started hiring, having people in your team. So, and also speaking about hiring, hiring is a challenge here in Cayman, right? One thing that I would like to have it here in Cayman, I have back in my country. By the way, I'm Brazilian. And back in Brazil, we have something, I don't know the name in English, but we have something that we can call it workbook. When you work for a company, you have a history of every place that you worked
you've
in the
worked.
past. So you have the date that you start, the date that you leave the company, that you left the company, how many vacations you took, your salary. This workbook helps companies making sure that you work it there, so we don't need to run a background check.
Right.
We don't need to call the company. We know this.
That information's there already.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's issued by the government. So it's legit information, right?
Yeah, but sometimes former employers can cushion that former employees
But I
tenure with them, while
Yeah.
they were there.
yeah, but I see this. It can be good for both
Not all the
ways.
time.
Yeah.
That is, every now
Shouldn't be.
maybe in between. Yeah.
But even in that situation, like we should have a record of where you're being worked. Just to make sure you are saying the truth in your resume, right? And so we don't need to contact the company that you worked, just to make sure the position that you were doing there was that one or not. Because I remember one candidate mentioned that she was doing payroll, working with bookings and stuff. I called for a hair salon, and I called the hair salon. We have these candidates here, and they said, well, actually, she helped polishing nails and washing hair, and we were looking for an accountant.
Oh my!
So that's the kind of
Or maybe
thing.
she did accounting somewhere else.
Well, maybe,
Maybe.
You know,
maybe,
and
but
she just wanted to get a foot in the door to show what she can do. You know, it's a chance you would have to take.
yes. But you see what I mean? Like having this document, having this workbook, it could be very beneficial for both sides, for the employee and for the employer as well. The employee will make sure like, I'm doing the right job here. I'm focused on my job here. I want to have my workbook clean. I don't want to be just 2-3 months in a company. I want to work at least a year. Or if I work 6 months, I worked only 6 months because I had another opportunity in another company. That's fine. It's written here in my workbook.
You know, back in the days, I know if people still do it. When you're leaving, you're exiting your job, you'll get a recommendation.
Yes.
That you'll take to the next job.
Yeah.
Do people still produce stuff like that?
Yes, we still receive reference
References.
letters. Yes, we still receive it at Bento. And that could be an extra a document to provide all the required information to make sure we are hiring the qualified person for that specific position. Right.
Okay. A lot of challenges.
And we're talking about hiring, right?
While you ponder on some more challenges, let's take a quick break. Thanks to our sponsor this morning, Cayman Insurance Center and Total Health.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, he hath founded it upon the seas.
James Alexander Bernard, JP. James Bernard was affectionately known as Mr. Mercy to his family and friends. Some people called him Papa Jim. He was married to the formula Mary M. Dixon and had one son, James L. Bernard. Like most Caymanian men of his era, he went to sea as a young man. He eventually became an accomplished cook. He also worked in the gold mines of Nicaragua. After retiring from sea, he farmed and is best remembered for being a butcher. He was a justice of the peace and a vestryman.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way. Positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
How life treating you? I don't know how you do it. Traffic, errands, and don't forget work and chores. There is no time. I need to get Sarah a dental check, and Grandpa needs a checkup too.
Oh, I'm no supermom at all. But if you need all services under one roof, look no further. Try Total Health. They offer such great quality care, and we're able to work with my entire family and our busy schedule. Guess what? They are open 6 days a week and welcome walk-ins too.
Total Health at Grand Pavilion on West Bay Road. From junior's x-rays to your daughter's dental care, their suite of services encompasses diabetology, ophthalmology, gynecology, ENT, physiotherapy, pharmacy, on-site laboratory, imaging, and the list goes on. Total Health is your one-stop convenient family healthcare solution. All the services of a hospital without the hassle.
Total Health in Grand Pavilion. Change the way you manage your family's health. Visit www.totalhealth.ky or call 333-2222.
Homeowners, protecting your family and property is crucial during the season, and you should always assess insurance needs long before a storm makes landfall. Most insurers won't issue new policies or increases when a storm is imminent. Cayman Insurance Center's team of professionals can help owners like you find the most comprehensive coverage and competitive rates. Call the insurance professionals at Cayman Insurance Center 949-4657 or email info@cic.com.ky. Don't take chances with your family's future or your valuable assets. Call Cayman Insurance Center's insurance professionals today at 949-4657.
This Saturday, July 8th at 4 p.m., come out to the It's Time for Praise Gospel Concert at the Georgetown Seventh-day Adventist Church on Smith Road, beside the hospital, featuring Tanique Dunbar, Stephanie Graham, Nicola Williams, Keela Woods, Carol Robinson, Touch of Faith, the Celestines, along with Clyde Kane, O'Neill Duncan, Lincoln Charles, and many more. Get ready to praise. Admission free of cost. See you there.
Business Buzz. Anita Khan.
And we're speaking with the CTO founder, Rena Neary of Bento. And we also have the fleet administrator of Bento, Miss Dania Edwards. Dania, let's talk a little bit about managing the fleet. You have quite a fleet.
We do have quite a fleet, yes, but it's necessary in because of how much Bento has been growing. Mm-hmm. Our customer base keeps expanding, so we've had to hire, of course, take on more drivers so that we can actually meet the demand. The hiring process is pretty extensive. We welcome persons that have customer service experience, some amount of, technology experience. You should be able to use like a smartphone or GPS, that kind of thing. So we do welcome persons that, do have that background. In terms of our training process and all of that, apart from the initial training, which we typically send a new hire with one of our drivers and a more experienced driver at that, because, they are the ones that are out there on the road, they're interacting with the customers, interacting with the merchants, so they'll definitely know a little bit more about what's happening and be able to pass that on to one of our new hires. Apart from the initial training, we also do, we're constantly evaluating and providing feedback to our drivers so that they can have an idea of how they are performing. Okay. And we not only give that feedback, not just the good stuff, we'll let you know what you can improve on as well. And we set monthly targets that, our drivers need to be able to meet. And if you're not able to meet that, then we'll sit down and we'll work with you and say, hey, this is how you're doing, this is where you need to get to, this is what you need to do to get to that stage. So a little bit of that happens.
My grandson promised to buy me one of those cars. 27. He's like, Grammy, you got to get one. I'm going to get one of these cars.
There you go.
Do you call them cars? They're 3 wheels. What do you call them, your vehicle?
Well, we have a hybrid fleet, right?
Right.
We have cars, and we also started having bikes as well. We are looking for people to apply for the bicycle ride position that we have open now at Bento.
Okay.
We like to have a hybrid.
Do you worry about the safety of the drivers?
Yes, and it's
because they're smaller vehicles. They can travel. I've seen them go.
Yeah.
What's the fastest they can go?
Well, the bikes, they can go up to 32 miles per hour, but the safety of the bikes, it is I try my best in the code to make this adjustment for safety of our riders. We are allowing these bicycles to ride only in Georgetown, so and avoid also roundabouts, which can be quite dangerous. But we're looking for candidates. We have positions available at Bento for if you want to ride a bike. So it's an electrical bike, by the way. So.
Right. Yeah. So in a nutshell, Neri, let's talk about the app and how it got started. Just so customers who have no idea.
Sure. Well, the app, you can download the app on your iPhone or your Samsung Android device. Just go to Google Play Store or Apple Store, type Bento Cayman, you will find it. Or you can visit our website, bento.ky, place your order there too, download the app from there too, add your address, your payment method in the most secure place, website in the Cayman Islands.
All right. And order, and you can order from any restaurant.
Yeah.
Basically,
how many restaurants we have?
We have over 100 merchant partners now on our platform. Yeah, so quite a lot. You like your local food, you like Italian, Chinese. We have all those options.
Everything.
Yes.
Oh, we have pharmacy and pets too.
Yes.
Okay.
You can also order from us.
Now, do you think that you thought that after COVID, after all that, I mean, we still have people who are getting COVID. No. Do you had any idea at all that after this is all ended, that Bento would still be going strong?
Anita, I'm gonna be honest with you. I knew it. I knew it because we run it a test. We run it a research about the audience. What people were people looking for a delivery service here in Cayman, and the question was the answer was yes. So we knew it. I'm not gonna lie, say like. Oh no, we never knew about this. Like it was such a surprise. No, we knew. I'm very much driven by data, and I trust the data that I have. And yes, we knew it. It would work.
Yes.
How far out in the Eastern District, for instance, do you go?
Well,
delivery.
For right now, we've recently actually expanded just up to Breakers.
Wow.
Are you familiar with the Lighthouse restaurant?
Yes, of course.
So Lighthouse has kind of rebranded and they've reopened into a pizza donut place. So they're on our platform. So we've actually expanded our deliveries up to that area. So customers within that area now have access to our services. So feel free. Download the app if you haven't tried it yet. So yeah, you definitely have access to us.
All right. Now you are part of the Cayman Islands Center for Business Development, CIC BD, the program, the incubator program.
Yeah.
Now, what year are you in with the incubator program?
We started there a year and a half ago.
Because the program lasts for what, 2 years?
2 years, exactly. And it's an amazing program. One of the biggest thing for me is the opportunity to do some networking at this program. You meet so many people. The program provides presentations, mentoring from very experienced people from different fields like legal, marketing, digital marketing, and they also provide a free office for you. So you can receive your clients, customers there, have meetings. It's a very nice program, and I really hope they continue to invest in this program. And yeah, Bento is part of that program already, but we already grow too much.
You're already out of the incubator.
Well, I think that's the goal, right? That's the goal.
You're a fast learner. That you're out. No, I'm pretty sure you have ideas that you share, with other folks in businesses who are in the program.
Totally.
Yeah.
I did a presentation about coding there once.
Nice,
but I told them, look, you're not going to learn how to code today, but I'm going to teach you at least the basics of it.
Right. Have an idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not swimming in ignorance. Now, before I let you go, we're almost out of time. Can we have your location and some of your contact details?
Sure. Well, we are located online. You can go to bento.ky and then you can start from there, find whatever restaurant you want to place order from, and you can also download our app on these two stores that I mentioned, Play Store and App Store.
You can also follow on Instagram, on Facebook as well.
So you don't have an office, really? But
we
so
do.
those, so where all those cars, all the vehicles are parked on Eastern Avenue?
No, they actually our vehicles it's hybrid. So drivers they own the vehicles. Some drivers they rent a car. So it's hybrid.
Okay. Okay. Anything else you want to leave with our listeners before we let you go this morning? I know we got lots to talk about. We didn't even touch the service.
We couldn't cover the whole part of opening a bank account here and all this stuff is in starting your operation. But anyway, one thing that I want to share is thank you very much for the support that we have here from our community. And
absolutely, yes, we have a very dedicated customer base. So keep supporting Bento.
All right, yay! Thank you both.
Thank you for having us, Anita.
We've got to take a quick time check, news, weather, traffic, and we'll be back with the second segment. We just heard from CTO founder of Bento, Rena Neri, and Danny Edwards, fleet administrator of Bento.
Thank you, Anita. And studio time now by Foster's is 8 o'clock.
At Foster's, you'll always find the biggest specials on the products you love.
Just like bubbly sparkling water, only $5.49, save 70 cents. Or Dr. Organic Body Wash, just $5.99, save $3. And Banquet Pot Pies, only $1.59, save 60 cents.
You'll find even more great specials in-store or online with Foster's Go. Foster's, better prices because we care.
Price is good until May 17th, 2023. Find more specials at fosters.ky.
You are listening to Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
For today's biggest news,
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller. The power company opens up the opportunity for more residents to go green. Utility Regulation and Competition Office has approved Caribbean Utility Company's proposal of an additional 6 megawatts of renewable energy capacity for public access. 1 megawatt of this release has been reserved for government. Back in November, OFREG and CUC committed a 2-week notice period to customers in relation to rates for the program. This 2-week period will allow customers to be informed of the set rate and allow them to consider their investment in the installation of solar on their homes. OFREG has determined that the extension of the core program will continue to be limited to smaller systems of capacity. The DER program provides opportunities for system sizes up to 250 kilowatts. With this notification, the application forms will be available on July 19th. These programs allow customers to connect renewable energy systems such as small-scale solar systems or wind turbines to CUC's distribution center and generate their own electricity while remaining connected to and benefiting from the reliability of CUC's grid. Work is underway to set up Cayman's new agro park in the eastern districts.
I am happy to say that we are at the goalpost right now with that land. The land lease policy has been created. We've carried the paper to caucus for full support of subdividing that lot into 1-acre lots and getting ready to ask for permission from planning for clearing of the property. And as soon as that is done, in collaborating, working with the Ministry of Lands, with their team, coming out to help identify the boundary markers for us, which I think they have already started with the entrance for the road. I must say that it's actually moving pretty swiftly.
Speaking to fellow MPs in Finance Committee Planning and Agriculture Minister, the Honorable J. Ebanks says he anticipates the road will be completed in the next few months. And there are leadership changes at the Lions Club of Tropical Gardens. Radio Cayman's April Cummings has more.
Creating hope in the community, caring, giving, and sharing. That is the focus of the Lions Club of Tropical Gardens as it continues its mission of service in the Cayman Islands. At the end of June, members came together to celebrate the annual change of administration held at Ristorante Pappagallo in West Bay. The event marked the installation of the board of directors, with Lion Cato Lee taking up the role of president, with Lion Alicia Hansraj serving as first vice president, Lion Bruce Jalim as second vice president, and Lion Patricia Mouchette as third vice president. Lion Norman McField is secretary, and Leo Lion Shizanda Porter is treasurer. The event included prayer, reciting the Code of Ethics, the national song, and of course the Lion's Prayer. Guest speaker, Speaker of the House of Parliament, the Honorable Catherine Ebanks Wilkes. April Cummings reporting for Radio Cayman News.
Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which will take us out of the newscast. I'm Carsley Fuller.
BBC News with Julie Candler. The leader of Belarus, Alexander Lukashenko, says neither the head nor the fighters of the Russian paramilitary force Wagner are in his country. Mr. Lukashenko said the Wagner boss, Yevgeny Prigozhin, was probably back in his native St. Petersburg. The Kremlin said it was not following Mr. Prigozhin's movements. The UN Human Rights Chief, Volker Turk, says civilians in Myanmar are living at the whims of a reckless military reliant on fear and terror to enforce its diminishing control, more than 2 years after the coup that tore the country apart. The Netherlands is to hand back hundreds of valuable artefacts it removed from Indonesia and Sri Lanka during the colonial period. They include a gem-encrusted bronze cannon and a cache of precious stones and jewellery known as the Lombok treasure. The U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen has arrived in China for a 4-day visit intended to calm trade tensions between the world's 2 largest economies. A court in Sweden has sentenced a Kurdish man to 4.5 years in jail for attempting to finance the Kurdish militant group the PKK. It ruled that the man must be deported from Sweden. The 20-year-old climate activist Greta Thunberg is to appear in court in her native Sweden later this month after being charged with disobeying the police during a recent protest. The European Court of Human Rights has ruled that Poland violated the rights of a judge, Igor Tulega, who was a leading critic of sweeping judicial changes introduced by the government. BBC News.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road and in Buttontown, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin, or the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Buttontown. Live happy, live healthy with ValueMed Pharmacy.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman with the latest up-to-date, accurate news and information. For your convenience, the headline news will be repeated on our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM, weekdays at 8:30 a.m. Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or download the Radio Cayman app in the App Store or log on to www.radiocayman.gov.ky and stay connected to what's happening in the community. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
Each one of us is different, and so are our health needs. Health City's executive health checks are packaged for you as an individual, including optional add-ons tailored to your health journey. We have a variety of health checks to suit your age, gender, lifestyle, and family medical history. Visit healthcity.ky to find the health check package that suits you best and book your Health City health check today. At Health City, we know healthy looks different on everyone.
Where is that number again? Aha! Here it is. 945-2290.
Hello, welcome to Chicken Country Corner, Savannah. How may I help you?
Oh, hi. A friend of mine told me that you have a special on Tuesdays and Wednesdays on your award-winning Caribbean wood roasted chicken. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am. On Tuesdays and Wednesdays from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m., you can buy a breast and wing dinner and get another one for half price.
Hey, that's an awesome deal. I'm coming right over to Chicken.
Buy a breast and wing dinner and get one half off is on. Only at the Chicken Savannah location. Call 945-2290. That's 945-2290. The 8:12 a.m. weather report brought to you by CG Britcay, where people come first.
Good morning. Let's take a look at the latest weather report. Current temperature is 85 degrees. Relative humidity is 78%. The barometric pressure is 29.96 inches and rising. The wind is out of the east at 5 knots. Overnight low temperature was 80 degrees. Synopsis indicate isolated showers expected over the next 24 hours, associated with a tropical wave west of Grand Cayman. Radar images show isolated showers in and around the Cayman area moving towards the west. Now, the forecast for today is calling for partly cloudy skies with cloudy spells and a 30% chance of showers, and temperatures will rise to the low 90s today. Winds will be easterly at 10 to 15 knots, and seas will be moderate with wave heights of 3 to 5 feet. Pretty much the same for tonight, partly cloudy skies with cloudy spells and a 30% chance of showers, and temperatures dipping to the upper 70s tonight. Winds will be east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots. Seas will be moderate with wave heights of 3 to 5 feet. Today's high tide will occur this morning at 11:52, low tide this evening at 5:58. The sun will set this evening at 6 minutes after 7 and will rise tomorrow morning at 5:54. And the outlook is calling for similar weather conditions through Saturday morning. And that's the very latest on your weather report.
Take some advice from your Aunt Angie. If you're going to invest in an exotic pet, choose anything but a Norwegian forest cat. Apparently, they will eat all your jewelry. Before you know it, you're racing to the vet when your cat escapes from his carrier and lunges for your earrings. You crash and your cat swallows your pearls. But if you're smart, you'll have CG Motor Insurance and get the best comprehensive coverage for the price.
Get the best comprehensive coverage for the price. CG Brit-K. Good like that. All benefits are subject to policy provisions, including eligibility at the time of service.
The 8:12 a.m. weather report brought to you by CG Brit-K, where people come first.
During these unprecedented times, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Cayman Strong Series. The Cayman Strong Series is brought to you by Encourse Cayman. Visit encourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. Encourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
Change your thinking, change your life. There's no great success without commitment.
As motivational speaker Tony Robbins said, individuals who succeed have a belief in the power of commitment. If there's a single belief that seems almost inseparable from success, it's that there's no great success without commitment. If you look at successful people in any field, you'll find they're not necessarily the best and the brightest, the fastest and the strongest. You'll find they're the ones with the most commitment.
Change your thinking. Change your life.
During these unprecedented times, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Cayman Strong Series. The Cayman Strong Series is brought to you by Encourse Cayman. Visit encourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. Encourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
These days, feelings of loneliness, anxiety, stress, and depression can be overwhelming. Just know you are not alone. Encourse Cayman offers private mental health services for children, teens, adults, and groups. Visit encourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. Encourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
Good morning once again. Let's take a look this time at traffic. Coming from the east and Shamrock Road, traffic is moderate in both directions. On the Linford Pearson Highway, flowing moderately as well. Little steady traffic heading to Georgetown on Crew Road, but nothing to worry about too much. Slight delays expected. As we look to Huldah Avenue, traffic is steady but flowing. Godfrey Nixon Way and Eastern Avenue, moderate flow of traffic in both directions, and traffic is moving along pretty good on Owen Roberts Drive, as well as coming from the West Bay four-way stop. On the West Bay Road in front of the Ritz, traffic moving along moderately in both directions, and traffic flowing at a good pace on Godfrey Nixon Way and Eastern Avenue. If you see any accidents or incidents on Cayman's roads, give us a call here at Radio Cayman, 949-6990. That's what's happening on the roads. Join us again at about 10 minutes after 12 o'clock. We'll give you another traffic report. Remember, click it or ticket.
From boat days to beach gatherings, leave the catering to Subway. Choose from small and large sandwich platters, double meat wrap platters, and top it off with optional cookie platters for dessert. Or ask about our Subway box to go with the option of 6-inch or foot-long sandwich, 1 cookie, and 1 bag of chips. For all occasions and celebrations, let Subway focus on the food so you can focus on the fun. Visit subway.ky for catering options. Subway. Eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
For the first time ever, First Look, Meet the Contestants Soiree and Sponsor Appreciation Event, hosted by the Miss Universe Cayman Islands organization. Saturday, July 8th at 7 p.m. at the Marriott Ballroom. Enjoy an evening of fun, fashion, and fabulosity. Now's your chance to come on out and meet and get to know the young women vying for the title of Miss Universe Cayman Islands 2023. Tickets available on Eventpro. Eat, drink, and mingle. Welcome cocktail and food included. You don't want to miss this. Saturday, July 8th at 7 p.m. at the Marriott Ballroom. See you there.
Business Buzz. Business Buzz with your host, Anita Khan.
All right. Good morning. Welcome back to the Business Buzz. It's 16 minutes after 8 o'clock. The buzz is going up to 9 o'clock. I try not to go over my time, manage my time well. Susan here. Susan is here with the timer switch. All right. I hear you, Susan. I want to say good morning to our guest in the studio. He's none other than Mr. Michael Miles. He is the Managing Director of Inspire Cayman Training Limited. ICT. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
I am good. How are you?
Very well.
I love your color this morning. Purple.
Thank
That's
you.
my
Anita.
favorite color.
Yeah.
Love it. Now,
Yeah.
Michael, most people just say Inspire Cayman, right?
Yeah.
Rather than Inspire Cayman Training Limited. Do you get that all the time?
No, we people just call us Inspire now.
Yeah.
They've kind of shortened it or ICT, but most people call us Inspire.
Yeah. Because I hear Inspire Cayman all the time.
Yeah.
So when I looked at the script this morning, I go, Inspire Cayman Training Limited. That's official. So how are you, Michael? Are you
I'm
doing?
very well. It's been a ride. It's been a ride. It's been
Busy?
a great journey. It's been busy. I love being busy. I love serving. And it's been a blessing. It's been a blessing to see how a vision that started with my wife and I folding up clothes of my frustrations, and it morphed into an organization of hope.
Wow.
So I can't ask for
That's
more
the
than
story
that.
behind it.
It is. It
Yeah.
is. It's pretty powerful.
Tell us about it. I want to hear. You just can't leave me like that, but I'm not trying to leave you like that.
I've worked in education now. I'm a social worker, and when I graduated from college in '95, I came back and worked. At the time, it was the Department of Social Services. It's now the Department of Children and Family, and it's now split into needs assessment unit. But you know, I got in education in 2010. Worked in the Ministry of Education. I just became frustrated with the level of failure that I was seeing. I work a lot. My career has led me to take the journey with working with our most vulnerable children and families. So I spent 30 years working with a lot of vulnerable families and children, in particular children and families in Cayman. And I just became more and more just disillusioned that we were going to crack the code and serving our people better. We've gone to either greater lengths. Either we are getting them hooked on welfare, or we're not setting an example for them to actually be empowered. And so I spent 6 years in the ministry, and it was challenging to continue just to see the majority of kids underperform or not meet their expectations of what their aspirations would be. we push everybody through this academic component, not understanding that, you know, that's not everyone's strength, but that's been the measuring stick. If you're not academic, then you should just go and do automotive, even if that's because people look at automotive or anything technical as, you know, well, you haven't measured up in medical or accounting or law.
Any skill.
Yeah, you know, like we look down on it, not it's comparable, it's the same. You know, you're just stronger as a technician, and you're still going to make $150,000 a year because you're a phenomenal technician. We look down on that. Or, you know, you're just going to be a plumber because you can't actually be a doctor. So I became quite disgusted with just how that was rolled out and how we approached it. I then went, when I left the ministry, I then went to Hope Academy, and it restored education for me, because I got to see education at its best, I believed, where teachers were inspiring young people to do more with their limitations. Hope serves some of the most challenging, academically challenged students, but these students were bright and they understood where they wanted to go, but they understood that it is not going to be the academic way. Some of them were bright enough that, you know, many of them went on to college, but many of them that just college wasn't the answer for them, right? So after 4 years of doing that, I decided, you know, I just felt this itch, Anita, that I was just born to do more. And I, you know, talked with Samantha, and I said, you know, I just feel that, you know, God has just put it in my heart that I should be doing more. And while I love being at Hope, I just believe that, you know, I'm just bred to do more. So I kept on getting frustrated with, you know, well, why is the government isn't doing this, and why don't we have this? And finally, my wife said, you know, you need to stop complaining. You know, you need
do something about it.
You need to stop complaining. If you want to do this, you need to do this, right? But you need to stop complaining about it because it's getting old. And, you know, I would get fired up.
Wives will tell you.
I know, and, you know, she puts me in my place, right? So, I mean, I'd get fired up about, you know, just the lack of investment and workforce development. You know, I think the people that we normally forget aren't in the top 10%, right? Or the top 20%. We forget that 80% of our people who need to get the 100% of the jobs in this country, and the 100% of the jobs in this country are in the technical fields.
Yes.
But we are not preparing our people to do that.
We saw that with Ivan.
We did. We absolutely did, and we also saw it, you know, certainly, you know, during the pandemic as well, right? That the reliance became on the grocery store clerk. I saw that you had Bento in here, right?
Drivers.
Correct. It was those people who carried this country, right? It wasn't the lawyers and the accountants, right? And it's nothing against those professions. Everyone has their own sort of investment and input into our community, but the folks that are going to carry it are people in those technical jobs. So we were folding up clothes one morning, and I, of course, vented my frustration, and she was like, okay, we need to put this to bed. You know, like, we need to end this. You know, like, and a lot of it was fair, right? Like, I was afraid to move on. I was afraid to take a leap of faith. You know, I knew what I needed to do, and she gave me permission to do it. You know, she's like, you know, we're good financially. We don't have bills, you know, like we've paid off all of our debts. We only have a mortgage. We are very physically responsible with our money. She's like, you know, make the leap. You like, make the jump. I had just also run in the last election, and, you know, I wanted to do something that I felt that the country needed. You know, I needed to kind of take that leap of faith, and Inspire was born, and you know, we were.
What year was this?
This was in about 2018.
2018.
And, you know, we put the money together. I put myself overseas. I had to go and get training. I had to apply for a first accreditation, so I spent about a week and a half in the U.S., you know, seeking accreditations. I joined with CUC. They were phenomenal. I couldn't have done it without them. I needed an instructor, and the Ritter became our only instructor and a friend of our family, and he's a phenomenal person. So we built the entire structure around him. And to this day, I mean, he's still with us and still doing phenomenal things. He's also a qualified teacher. He's a qualified automotive technician. He does loads of different programming with us, including mentoring and coaching. So he does a lot. So we built our entire center around Andy, and I can tell you, I mean, we've gone from me working at Hope full time and working almost 15 hours a day and keeping the business running. Then COVID happened, and when we came out of COVID, we doubled in size. Wow. Because people got a thirst for training. People got a thirst for, well, how do I move forward? My job no longer exists, right? So, and we reformed the center. We started off doing technical, vocational, and while we do a lot of that, still Inspire is built on hope and promise. And I can tell you, Anita, we rejigged our entire vision because the people that are coming in our doors most often don't need a skill. They're hopeless. They need to be reassured. Wow. So we've done a lot of soul searching on how we want to roll this out. It's been a lot of prayer and a lot of tears and a lot of grit and just a lot of hard work that have gone into transform and Inspire from an organization that teach to now an organization that serves. So we are a service organization. We have gone from being a TVET center to being a workforce development center. A lot of what we do is based on, I don't know if you've ever gotten the documents from WORC. They produce a phenomenal document. It's the jobs report, and it lists all of the jobs. They've done a phenomenal job in highlighting all of the jobs that's on their that's on their portal, the jobs report. They have a young man who is producing that report, and it's one of the things that I feel that we don't look at. We should be building our entire education system around that report, around that research. It is phenomenal research. It tells us where our country is moving to. It highlights all of the top jobs, all the top industries. It highlights even the education that's needed for these industries. And the number one industry that have carried this country is construction.
Construction, that's
right.
right. That's
but
right.
I can't get scholarships, from the Ministry of Education to support that. And we have loads of young people coming in that want to actually be professionals in the construction industry.
Why is that so?
I think it's because of how the scholarship system is set up in the ministry. They have a scholarship system that runs one time a year, whereas my center runs all year long. So, for instance, you have to sign up between, I think, February and April or something like that for a scholarship, because they don't have TVET scholarships. They just have regular scholarships based on what I was made to understand. So
academic sort of.
So it's more academic stuff. And you can get a TVET scholarship from them, but it is to an overseas organization or it's to UCCI. But if they want to come to me, they can't get a scholarship. So I don't understand how that works still, but it is what it is. I've learned to just go with the flow and trust in God that He's going to provide. And for the last 4 years, He have. And so I've moved on. So our programs roll every single year. So for instance, construction, for example, if you want to do something in electrical, you have to take the pre-construction course. That could take you 3 months. And then right after that, let's say you take that in April and you finish that in June or something, you can then go on to do your very first module. Well, you can't get a scholarship until next year,
April.
next year, April. So, that's it's unfortunate, but that's how it is. And they've just stuck with that. So I found very creative ways of getting around that. In the last 4 years, we've raised about $250,000, and we have given out probably 130 30 plus scholarships. So almost everyone, you know, the
Is
goal.
that a full scholarship or a partial?
It's both. We look at needs as well. There's some folks that come in and they need a full scholarship because they can't pay, right? And there's some that come in and said, hey, you know something, my parents can pay that, and they pay that. 80% of the folks that walk through the door, I can tell you, cannot pay the fees. But we help in whatever way we can.
So have you petitioned with the government?
We have.
I've
met with just about everyone in government.
Well, maybe they'll hear you today. The word is out.
I'm hopeful. You know, I am always hopeful. But again, I'm not stuck on what they're going to do and what they can't.
Yeah.
I think, you know, my blessing is that I'm going to find a way. And I tell my team that all the time. I'm going to find a way. We're going to find a way. And whether they come aboard or not, it's immaterial to me at this point.
Michael, I've been living here for 41 years. And from the time I've been hearing about a vocational school. I still hear it.
Yeah.
But you are doing what that vocational school be doing.
Yeah.
So why are we still talking about it? Why you're not getting the help that you need to make it bigger and you know?
I don't know. You know, Anita, I've been working with, you know, like I told you, I mean, I'm a veteran in this. And I sit in rooms with a lot of people who make a lot of excuses on why they can't do some stuff. Or they tie their hands. You know, I meet with a lot of civil servants who consistently tie their hands on why they can't and why they shouldn't and why they're this and why they can't. That doesn't matter to the person that walks into my center who is 19 years old or 20 years old, who's hopeless, who don't see a future in this country for them. Now, people may say, well, that's only one or two people. No, that's a lot of people, right? That's a lot of people. In the last 3 months, we've been fortunate to partner with work. We've been partnering with them off and on. This partnership is now for the next year. So we have a contract with them that we do all of their workforce development training.
Basically upskilling?
We are doing all the upskilling, and we are doing retraining as well, because we have, you know, training now comes in several different parts. There's the upskilling part and there's the retraining part. And the retraining part is challenging because we have a lot of young people, and when I say young people, between the ages of 17 years old when they get out of high school and probably about 30. And these kids have job hopped for so long that they have become unemployable in our own country. They want to work, but they've had 5 or 6, 7 jobs in the last 2 or 3 years. They have no loyalty to one company, and when organizations are now seeing this, they're no longer hiring them because, and what I've tried to explain to, you know, certainly government officials and parents and grandparents and certainly the youngsters themselves, is that organizations, while they expect that you're going to move on, they don't expect that you're going to move on in 3 months or 3 days or 3 weeks, right? They expect that they've made an investment. They've got you through the door. And now it's costing us as small business owners it's harder to get people through the door. We're all fighting for talent, and we are all advertising, and that's costing us. And then we have to train you only for you to not show up to work after a week, right? It is a slap in the face. And when you're putting all of that stuff in, a lot of these kids are putting it on their resumes, and then they're sending it out to hundreds of employers who are saying, this person have no loyalty, they're more than likely going to leave our organization as well, therefore we're not going to take that risk anymore. I also explained that 30 years ago, I graduated high school, right? I was 17 years old. I could have, and my entire generation, I'm sure a couple of generations ahead of me, and probably 2 behind me, we could have literally moved from any job within a short period of time of working for that job and be allowed to do that. That is no longer our reality today. When you were doing that, you're set. If you're leaving a job within under a year, you're setting yourself up for some hardship, because now we have human resources. And human resources is very organized, and they're no longer looking at who your mom and your daddy is. Human resources is looking at skill sets. They're looking at your loyalty. They're they're looking for specific red flags that pop up on your resume, and they are going to move you on, right?
That's
they're not going to look at your resume.
Nope.
You haven't taken the time to even scan your resume enough to make sure that there's great punctuation, full stops, and in the whole 9 yards. I mean, I see, young people's resumes that they spell their name incorrectly. That
how do you do that, right?
Because they're not looking, right? So we are helping them understand all of this, but we're also helping them understand that I am not in this to get anybody a job. I'm not a recruitment agency. We are a workforce development training center, right? We are looking at how do we help you get into a career. What do you love? And that's another area that we've covered with a lot of our people, is that they come into our center and they say, sorry, I just want a job. Well, then go to work, go to WRC, go to a recruitment, because that's not what I do, But if you want training and you want an understanding of where you want to go long term, so they choose jobs that are dead end. And then after 2 months or 3 months, they recognize, well, I'm not going to make any more money here. Well, they knew that before, right? But everyone becomes desperate and, well, I just want a job. And then they make a decision. They work for that person for 3 months. And then they recognize, well, I don't want to work here anymore. I'm going to go down there, I'm going to go to the next place and work. And then pretty soon, I have 19 and 20 years that have 5 jobs in a year and a half that they've graduated high school.
Yep.
Well, that's not cute. That's, in my day, it used to be, hey, well, I have 3 months here and then I can run down there and do a thing. But today, that's just not how people are hiring you, right? They want to understand that at least you have some direction, right? That you're here with us for the long haul, that as a talent, because organizations want to invest in you, right? That's another thing that's killing a lot of our young people in their attempts to, move up and move ahead, is that before they give the organization a chance, they're there 3 or 4 months or 5 months, and then they're gone, not understanding that that organization actually wanted to invest in them, and then they've gotten into a dead-end job, right? And now they're unemployed because they're frustrated that they're still being paid $7 an hour when they could have stayed the year, get that experience, get the training, and then get ahead to a better position.
Michael, I've got to manage my time today. We got to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue the discussion with Mr. Michael Miles, Managing Director of Inspire Cayman Training Limited. Thanks to our sponsors this morning, Cayman Insurance Center and Total Health.
How life treating you? I don't know how you do it. Traffic, errands, and don't forget work and chores. There is no time. I need to get Sarah a dental check, and Grandpa needs a checkup too.
Oh, I'm no supermom at all. But if you need all services under one roof, look no further. Try Total Health. They offer such great quality care, and we're able to work with my entire family and our busy schedule. Guess what? They are open 6 days a week and welcome walk-ins too.
Total Health at Grand Pavilion on West Bay Road. From Junior's X-rays to your daughter's dental care, their suite of services encompasses diabetology, ophthalmology, gynecology, ENT, physiotherapy, pharmacy, on-site laboratory, imaging, and the list goes on. Total Health is your one-stop convenient family healthcare solution. All the services of a hospital without the hassle.
Total Health in Grand Pavilion. Change the way you manage your family's health. Visit www.totalhealth.ky or call 333-2222.
Hey, is your phone slow, overheating, and dropping important calls? Don't fret. This summer, it's time to flip out with Digicel. Introducing the all-new Samsung Flip 4 with its sleek design and cutting-edge features. You'll flip into the summer in style and confidence. This summer, you can grab the all-new Samsung Flip 4, all just for $145. Flip into the summer with Digicel. Visit a Digicel store near you and grab the all-new Samsung Flip 4 and the amazing 7-day Prime Ultra plan today.
Can you tell me, what does a turtle do on his birthday? He celebrates.
Celebrate your loved one's special birthday with a birthday shout-out live on For the Record with Mr. Oret Connor, only on Radio Cayman. WhatsApp your loved one's name to 925-3261. That's 925-3261. Radio Cayman's birthday shout-outs live on For the Record with Mr. Oret Connor every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Brought to you by More Than Words, your gateway to local books and more. Connect to your culture. Tap into your roots. More Than Words, second floor, Thompson Building.
Sponsored by Pizza Boat. Now open in Queens Court on West Bay Road. Pick up or delivery. Call 949,000 or order online at www.pizzaboat.ky.
Business Buzz. Business Buzz with your host, Anita Khan.
If you're just joining us, good morning and welcome to the Business Buzz. We've been here for a while. This is our second segment, and we're speaking with Mr. Michael Miles, Managing Director of Inspire Cayman Training Limited. You can just call it Inspire Cayman or ICT. And as Michael mentioned earlier, just see Inspire.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Michael, we got lots to talk about, and time is just flying.
Time is of the essence.
Yeah, yeah. And I just like the way that you know your business so well.
Yeah.
And you working with young people.
Yeah.
Put you in a position to even provide advice for the government.
Yeah.
For education department. You know, I'm just saying. I don't know.
Yeah. No,
But,
I mean, I'm a social worker working in
Mhm.
education, right?
Mhm.
I look at it from a social standpoint. It's very few things that I haven't seen, that our youngsters have struggled with. It's, as they say, the game hasn't changed. The players have. Since in the 90s when I became involved in youth development, it's the same, and some of the players are from the same families, right? So we know, I working in the ministry, we were able to identify children as young as 7 and 8 years old that we knew were not going to make it through our high schools or middle schools if they didn't have some levels of intervention along the way. So we know a lot of this.
Sorry. So could you say with great confidence that Inspire Cayman has made a huge difference in some of these
We have.
young people, especially young people
We have.
in their lives?
I think the success that we've had is that we've taken the time to make corrections. We've taken the time to educate. I don't do traditional education. It doesn't work for the youngsters that walk through our door. Ours is a mixture of TVET training. Ours is a mixture of just hardcore learning, because this is our young people come to us because we are the last hope for them. They're not going to go to UCCI. They're not going to go to ICCI, and they absolutely are not leaving this country. So they come to us because they believe that we can fix something in their lives. The majority of what they need to fix is fixing their frame of mind on where they want to go. We are helping them create their own compass, right? I don't create it for them, and neither does my team. Our job is to provide them with information, and they are going to choose. Because what I have seen, and we were talking about this off air, a lot of these youngsters are living at home, and their parents are doing all of this stuff still. I mean, I work with kids 29, 28, 30 years old, and their parents are still doing their entire lives. I want them to start to do their entire lives. What I've also seen is that a lot of our people don't want to be inconvenienced in any way. They don't want to feel any pain. They don't want to sacrifice anything, right? I want it, and I want it now. There's no delayed gratification, right? So I want this car, and I want this car now, and I'll do anything to get the car. I want this jewelry, I want this watch, I want this iPhone, and I want it right now. Whereas when you come to me, there are standards. I want you to dress appropriately. And if you can't do that, you can't walk through the door.
What's the dress code like? So
the dress code is very disciplined. They have to wear a minimum of a polo shirt or a button-up. It has to be for young men. We look at everyone walking through the door as a professional, and I treat them like that because, like I expressed to them, you're no longer in high school. And if you want to do that, this is not the place for you. So they have to have their shirt tucked in. There's no sagging. If you're sagging, I ask you to leave the center. But you are walking into the center.
Sagging?
You know, when your pants is below your behind.
I know, I just want to hear you say it.
You know,
somebody
you know,
might, they might be like, what the heck is sagging?
Yeah,
Okay,
you have to wear a belt. You know, like
belt.
that's it's not optional.
Right.
You
have to wear a belt.
You have to wear a belt.
Okay.
You have to wear clean shoes.
Okay.
Yes, it could be tennis shoes, but they have to be clean. Okay. And if they're not, I'll buy you some shoes. So we've put together some funds to buy clothing. We have, you know, the Good Deeds Thrift Shop have been phenomenal, Anita, with us. I bless those people. Lynn and her husband has been, I mean, I can tell you almost life-saving, because the majority of the young people that come to us don't even have a tie to go to an interview. So they have come in and they've sponsored all of the clothing, and they have a lot of nice stuff. So we outfit loads of our people there. And if she doesn't have it, we buy it. Okay. We help them buy it. So we have, you know, a little slush fund that we kind of put aside for things like clothing. They have to be on time. So we train at 9 o'clock. 9:01, you're late. And if you're late, you sit in my reception until the group gets their first break, which is normally about an hour. Sometimes it's an hour and a half. So you sit in a reception for an hour and a half.
Oh, you're a hard cookie there.
Yeah.
I would think just a minute I can squeeze in, you know, in the class. Yeah.
Nope. Traffic is not a valuable excuse.
Yeah,
the rain isn't a valuable excuse.
Yeah.
So it's about putting it back in their hands, right? They have to now have a clear understanding. You now have to watch the weather. You can't tell me it's raining, right? Because it's raining where I am at as well. And I know.
But you have an umbrella, right?
And well, I normally say
or a garbage bag, even.
I will. Here's what I normally say to them: if you guys showed up at 8:50 or 9 o'clock, and I didn't show up at 9:30 as the owner to let you in, would you be upset? And everyone in the room, yes, we'd be pissed. You know, we'd be highly upset. I said, well, that's how I am when you're late, and I'm sitting here waiting for you to come, right? And then when you give me the excuse that it was raining and therefore you couldn't come, and I can't give you that excuse, I'm not sure what world you're living in here, because we are in the same playing field here, right? And while I own this organization, I am just as equal as you in showing up on time and showing up dressed appropriately. And you have to show up engaged.
Must be some standard there. No, let's look at some of your courses. Michael, do you have the introductory craft skills? Now, what does that course cover?
The introductory craft skills covers everything in the construction industry before you get there. So it covers things like measuring, right? Construction math, safety. It's safety. You know, how to safely climb up a ladder and descend. Power tools, hand tools. Looking at a full-scale house plan. It covers quite a bit of stuff. I love that course. That's the first course based on NCCR standards that they must take before they move on to electrical or plumbing or any of that.
Can I take a one-off class then, or do I have to be in the program?
You can take a one-off module, but you will not get the qualification. So, for instance, you know, you can come in and take power tools.
As a woman, I just need to know how to climb that ladder properly.
That's it. If that's what you want, you can take that one module. You will get credit for taking that one module. It's also you have to take a once you sit through the class, I think that module is probably between 15 to 20 hours long. And once you sat through the class, you have an online test that it is drafted by NCCR, and then you do an actual practical. Once you pass that, you get credit. But like I said, you don't get a certificate.
Correct.
Right? Okay. You have to do all of the 9 modules in order to actually complete the class.
9 modules in this.
Yes.
Okay.
The course that we do a lot of work on really is our Tools for Success course. Okay. It's our employability skills course. And we have expanded that. So that's a 12-week.
Tools for Success.
Yeah. Our partnership with work, that's what we are doing a lot with young people or with people in general. We are reteaching them how to understand their careers. So we do a lot of career development, a lot of career coaching. We do a lot of life skills training in that now. So it's this was a 2-week course in work. It's now an 8-week course with us.
Wow.
Well, our normal Tools to Success is 12 weeks. It takes us at least 6 weeks just to get people to understand their careers, right? And that's pounding on them regularly to, and testing them and doing loads of different things with them to get them to understand that where they were going is a dead end.
Who facilitates that?
Myself. We have at least 3 instructors, including a qualified therapist that also sits in and does a lot of work. So we've also, about 8 months ago, we understood that we were having a lot of young people certainly coming in from whether it's a COVID type of issue or some of it's just undiagnosed. A lot of young folks that are coming in struggling with a lot of emotional and just underlying challenges that were stopping them from actually getting employment. So we now employ therapists to come in and do wellness and life skills with us, and that's, I'm telling you, it's been the difference maker.
You're doing an amazing job,
so
Michael.
So we've done quite a bit.
You're inspiring me this morning, because I love education is the top of my.
Well, you need to see it. I can tell you, man. Anita, I sit back sometime, and I'm almost in total awe when a youngster that come into us that's 20, 21 years old come in hopeless and sir, I'm gonna give up on life. And that same youngster come in 4 weeks later after being involved in a program, and they're bouncing in and they're shaking my hand and hugging me and bouncing me, and that feeling I can't replicate or I can't put into words what that's like. That level of hopefulness that I see now, I can't replicate. There's, I tell my team all the time, I say, because of what we're doing, they're going to tell us if we're successful or not. And they normally do. And it's in their posture.
Of course.
When they come in, they're guarded. They don't want to let their hair down. They are, they've been failed so often. And 2 weeks into this, they're hugging us. They're, hey, or I have to remind them to go to lunch. Hey, guys.
Oh, really?
It's lunchtime. Go, yesterday I was at the center until 7:30 with 2 youngsters finishing up their resume, and they were like, "We're not leaving until we do this. Can you stay with us?" Absolutely, I can stay with you.
That's right.
But that's the level of commitment that we have. Here's another major thing that we have done different from a number of traditional education. We've removed all their cell phones, so they do not get to take cell phones in the trainings with them. So the cell phones are put out in the reception area. If you want to learn, you don't need your cell phone.
That's right.
I have computers. I have tablets. So if you need to do research, I'll give you a computer or a tablet. But you're not going to take your cell phone. And it's across the board with all of our
Was there any
courses now.
resistance? Wow.
They start resisting, and then I give them the option. You give up your cell phone or you leave. So you have that choice, right?
Did anybody ever leave?
No. Because the hunger is there. Remember, a lot of them come in and this is their last hope to move on. So I give them that choice. And you know what happens? The cell phone becomes something that they don't really need anymore, right? And they learn to rely without it. Because to them, it's almost like a crutch to them. Like they need it in their pocket. They need it dinging. And I'm like, okay, so you would prefer to speak to someone on Instagram who's not helping you. You prefer to spend an hour in this class speaking to someone on Instagram who's not going to help you than to commit fully to this class with someone who's going to help you.
Or where you can make some money at the end of the day,
Absolutely.
right?
No, so you give me, so I'm not going to battle, right? And my team isn't battling. You give up your cell phone. Now you can have it when you go on break. You can have it when you go on lunch. If you have an emergency call, route it through me. So I say to all of the folks that come in the door, if someone need to reach you, give that person my number, Sean Glidden's number, Kat Hampson's number, and the Ritter's number. We will answer. But I am not going to battle with your cell phone because, I have 30-year-olds under the table texting someone. And I'm like, I'm not bothering with that. Like, that's dumb. It's not smart. So we're going to pay all this money for you to come in here and use your cell phone. You can do that at home.
Michael, I keep forgetting we have to take a break. I'm so into the conversation, so we can take that quick break. Thanks.
Homeowners, protecting your family and property is crucial during the season, and you should always assess insurance needs long before a storm makes landfall. Most insurers won't issue new policies or increases when a storm is imminent. Cayman Insurance Center's team of professionals can help owners like you find the most comprehensive coverage and competitive rates. Call the insurance professionals at Cayman Insurance Center 949-4657 or email info@cic.com.ky. Don't take chances with your family's future or your valuable assets. Call Cayman Insurance Center's insurance professionals today at 949-4657.
Yo, big up Massive. Listen up, we got some good news for you. Digicel is bringing you the hottest deal in town. Send top up hassle-free to Jamaica with the My Digicel app. No fees for a limited time. Me people, is pure love from Digicel. Send credit from the My Digicel app any kiosk or go to a Digicel store and show your loved ones in Jamaica you care. They will stay connected, chat and stream without them fees. Spread the word. This is a big deal. Tell your mother, father, uncle, auntie, brother, sister, and friend. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Send top up to Jamaica today. Digicel, the ultimate connection.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit Digicel's website or contact customer support for more info.
Radio Cayman News. On this public holiday, we celebrate the birthday of His Royal Highness King Charles III.
Our first King's birthday celebration in the Cayman Islands and the first for our new governor.
Let us all give 3 cheers for His Majesty the King.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice for today's biggest news.
This Saturday, July 8th at 4 p.m., come out to the It's Time for Praise Gospel Concert at the Georgetown Seventh-day Adventist Church on Smith Road, beside the hospital, featuring Tanique Dunbar, Stephanie Graham, Nicola Williams, Keela Woods, Carol Robinson, Touch of Faith, the Celestines, along with Clyde Kane, O'Neill Duncan, Lincoln Charles, and many more. Get ready to praise. Admission free of cost. See you there.
Business Buzz. Anita Khan.
It's 4 minutes until 9 o'clock. Good morning. We have in the studio Mr. Michael Miles, Managing Director of Inspire Cayman Training Limited. Michael, just to wrap up, I don't know where the time went. Yeah. It happens to me every Tuesday and Thursday morning. The time just flies. Yeah. No, before I let you go, just tell us about some of the classes that you offer, or whether some of them are done online, and whether we get a certification or certificate or diploma. And just to touch again on that.
So we have 4,000 courses, right? So we have 4,000 courses.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Right? Okay. Coming out of COVID, we purchased 3 learning management systems, because during COVID, no one was walking in our doors to do a sit-down program. We couldn't. We couldn't do automotive. We couldn't do construction. We couldn't do any of that. Right. And that's the reason, Anita, that we've shifted our focus to making sure we can meet all needs. So we purchased 3 learning management systems. We have 4,000 courses, and we now have courses for everything, from the accounting world to entrepreneurship to business to, you name it, we have it, to administration. Our partnership with work, we have over 60 people in training, right? We have 40 plus people on our online website. Doing training. We have another 25 people at the center doing anything from construction skills to employability skills. But we have courses in everything at this point. All of the courses are all certified by an external organization. I actually have 5 organizations that accredit us. We recently purchased, we invested another $100,000 in construction by purchasing a state-of-the-art heavy equipment simulator that have 24 different machines on it. So we can now train up on any machine in this country just about on a simulator.
I heard about it.
And we've been doing a lot of training on that. A matter of fact, we have a waiting list now of over 30 Caymanians waiting to get on that. We're doing things in water sports from PADI. I have another 30 plus people waiting to do the International Yacht Training Program. So we are constantly hunting scholarships, and this is why it's critical that the government becomes a full partner in this. You know, I've just told you, we have grown out of our space. In a matter of a year, we moved to Grand Harbor a year and a half ago. We have 2,000 square foot of space. I'm fighting for space. Like, we're looking for another space because I can't take on anymore. And I have at least 70 plus people on a waiting list, waiting to get into
your
Inspire.
Own school. Your building.
That's exactly what we're morphing into. But I can't grow because people don't have access to scholarships, and I can't fund everyone. The Build Your Future Scholarship Fund was created because I could not get scholarships from the government, and there's no reason why we should not. We are we are accredited or certified by the government, so I had to get the same qualifications that UCCI had to get, or all of the public schools and private schools had to get. So I didn't do anything illegal. I have a trade and business license. I've checked every box that the country have asked me to check, and still the people that are coming to me are still limited. But it is what it is. So I've asked the private sector to step up. And
you're working with what you have.
That's it. And I've asked the private sector to step up, and I'm going to ask them again. I need your help. I need scholarships because I can help more people, but I need more funds. I need to be able to now expand further as well. I need at least another 3,000 square. Keep in Grand Harbor, but I need another 3,000 square foot of space just to put people. Like today, I have almost 30 people at the center, and I've had to put people in our reception area just to make, because there are people coming in that just need help with a resume.
Look like we have to go back to under the tamarind tree, Michael.
That's it, right?
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
But I'll do whatever it takes at this point in order
right.
to make this happen.
Right.
But this is exciting times, Susan. Anita, this is exciting times. We have loads of things. Anyone that want to be reskilled, upskilled, call us. You know, they can call me at 939-1301 or send us an email, info@inspirecaymantraining.com. You know, but come in, visit us. We do have a website, but I can tell you 3/4 of the things that we have is not there. I just haven't had time to update it. So we've been just, we have a web designer online that's working with us to put a lot of this stuff online so it's more accessible. But we have loads of things. We have loads of things going on, and with work, you know, coming in and now providing scholarships from that end, that's been phenomenal. But we have loads of people that are not registered with work or that are just fresh out of high school, right? That want an opportunity to be an automotive technician. Well, I can actually do that, but in the end, we simply don't have the funding in order to provide all of those resources. Like, I have folks calling me about welding. We have 25 people that want to do heavy equipment. We have one machine. I need another 3 machines. So all of this stuff is all phenomenal things that we're doing, and I love it.
Michael, I love the fact that you're doing all this. You know what do you say, a service school?
We are now a service organization.
I love it. I wish you all the best, and here's hoping that this conversation this morning will get out there and you'll get the help that you need for those
help is there. Help is there, so I'm hopeful.
Yes. Well, thank you very much, Michael.
Thank you, Anita.
We can go on until 1 o'clock this afternoon. We can take over, talk today, but we have to go. But I want to say thank you so much for popping by Radio Cayman today, and we wish you all the best. Thanks to our listeners, of course, our sponsors, Cayman Insurance Center and Total Health, and our producer, Miss Susan Watson. Thank you, Susan. And we'll see you on Tuesday, July 11th. We bring another business buzz. In the meantime, please stay safe. From me, your host, Anita Khan. Have a wonderful day.
The Business Buzz is proudly sponsored by Cayman Insurance Center, celebrating 45 years in the Cayman Islands, specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services.
And Total Health in Grand Pavilion. Change the way you manage your family's health. Visit www.totalhealth.ky or call 333-2222.
Continuing the Caymanian tradition.
Let Cora keep my ground so clean.
The heart and soul of the Cayman people. Thank you for keeping the culture alive.
Let's spread the news every day. From East End to Georgetown, down into West Bay.